you go. YouTube is working from the YouTube app now. Um, it was not working from the damn Streamlabs app, which sucks. So now I gotta do Facebook from my phone. Specifically, guys, when it comes to GLP-1 meds, let me know, let me know in the comments here what is your biggest struggle? Are you guys stuck in a weight loss plateau? Are you trying to speed up your GLP-1 results? Yes, menopause does hinder your weight loss on GLP-1s. It's 100% without a doubt. It absolutely does that. Becoming a GLP-1 responder, fast responder, hyper responder. If you guys want to learn about that, we can absolutely talk about how to do that, right? How to speed up your GLP-1 results. Any suggestions on helping when you have menopause? How many women right now are currently menopause, perimenopause, premenopause? Not premenopause, perimenopause, menopause, and you're noticing that your weight loss has slowed down. A week onto it? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So, when you hit perimenopause and menopause, you have a massive shift in your hormones. And because you have this massive shift in your hormones, you literally become more insulin sensitive, more insulin resistant. You become more insulin resistant, you become inflamed. Uh, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but your body has to override. Your body has to override the GLP-1. So think about that for a second. You're busting your butt, you're on the medication, you're becoming more, uh, trying to move your health in the right direction, but you have this counter signal, increase inflammation, increase insulin resistance. And so this is why adding additional lifestyle interventions make all the difference. And the same goes if you have PCOS, by the way. The same goes if you have autoimmune conditions, inflammatory conditions. We actually service all 50 states, just so you guys know. We do service all 50 states, buddy. So whether you're in Albany, regardless of wherever you're at, I personally live in Colorado, but we do service all 50 states. If I can get into this account here. Are you sockless? No, I am not sockless. Sloop. I think Sloop's great, by the way. Sloop is a really good peptide. Let's try another way. There we go. Sloop, I find that when you add Sloop to the GLP-1, it definitely helps you. 491-833. 491-833. Yeah, Sloop will help you mobilize fat. It'll help you protect muscle mass. Protecting muscle mass, burning more fat, super important. Don't trust a bald doctor. Yeah, I guess apparently the young wolf says don't trust a bald doctor. Yeah, I mean that's you know, it's very true, right? There's really good data on that, so you should be careful. Why do the medications cause memory loss or confusion? They don't. Same thing with hair loss. Same thing with muscle mass loss. They don't cause these issues. But you guys want to know what causes these issues? Massive rapid malnourishment, weight loss, metabolic downregulation. Hey, sinful. So, my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. And specifically, uh, we provide the GLP-1 medications. Um, ridiculous comment. I was being facetious when somebody left that comment, but so we provide the GLP-1s, the powerful peptides, and more importantly, we do facilitate weight loss coaching, healthy coaching. My goal is to help everybody achieve lasting weight loss. There we go. I got the Facebook working. Perfect. It was a very complicated experience to get Facebook going. I apologize. This is crazy, but we looks like we're good. I have to zoom out of this camera though. There we go. All right. We are live on Facebook too. There we go. When you start the sloop, 200 micrograms. So when you guys start sloop 332, 200 micrograms, that's all you want to do. You don't want to do too much. Um, yeah, you don't want to do too much. So I might turn off this computer. It's loud. Shut down. Um, Surgeon still wants me to go ahead due to PCOS. What do you think? The surgeon wants you to do what because of PCOS? If you guys been, by the way, if you've been told that you shouldn't fast or that you should keep eating carbohydrates as somebody who has PCOS or autoimmune disease, I'm here to tell you how bad that advice is. Straight up, if you have autoimmune disease and you're overweight, if you have PCOS, if you're hitting menopause as a woman, your inflammation and your insulin resistance markers are higher. Okay. Your health is trending in a bad way. Its metabolic health is decreasing. And the only way you can improve it, in my opinion, and working with thousands of patients over the years, is metabolic health improvement. We have to shift in the right direction. Any tips? Any tips so I don't bloat as much? Almost always, if you're bloating, you clean things up with an elimination diet, aka a carnivore diet, and you're gonna feel significantly better. So this is why I'm a big fan of the carnivore diet, because you can think of the carnivore diet as like an elimination diet. You're eliminating all the crap that can be causing various issues and reactions. Plant products for many people do cause issues. Hey, Deep Sarza. I'm actually answering all three here. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm about to launch Instagram here in a second. Let's see. Worried about stalling fat loss, dropping back to 2.5. Tirzepatide from 5. Stop the constipation side effects. So, Anthony, the two solutions to constipation are either increasing your fiber intake. That's the traditional way. You increase your fiber intake, you increase your hydration. But some people, that actually makes them worse. Some people, when they increase their fiber, they actually get worse. So instead of doing that, a solution that I see uh, is the carnivore diet as a short-term cleanup, reduce the inflammation, improve the constipation. Um, the way to shift your metabolism if it's bad on a diet, eat less well, the thing is so the question is about calories, and let's see. If you think Dr. Berg's advice is bad, then I don't even know what to say. I mean, the guy gives real health information, and millions of lives have transformed listening to his advice. But if you think his advice is bad, then you can keep going. You can keep doing prescriptions. Let me know how that goes for you. And I want to be clear, our clinic uses prescriptions when necessary. Like, I'm not against medications. Medications used properly. It's just, as you guys know, our doctors prescribe way too much, way too fast. There's no prevention in healthcare. When's the last time you went to your primary care physician and they asked you about your lifestyle? When's the last time your primary care actually sat down and discussed lifestyle, stress management, sleep optimization, exercise protocols, diet? And if they do say diet, what do they say? Eat less, move more, increase your protein. And it's not their fault. It's a shitty healthcare system that doesn't give them enough time to actually do real healthcare. It's not preventative healthcare. It's reactionary healthcare. That's what our healthcare system. It's reactionary with prescriptions, and then surgeries when it gets worse. Unfortunately, that's how it works. Hello, everybody on Facebook that's just joining me, guys. If you just joined us, I know there's a lot of people asking about the Sloop thing. We do have specials right now and promotions on SLU-PP-332. So let me tell you guys about SLU-PP-332. Um, SLU-PP-332 is a powerful fat mobilizing agent. Okay. So one big piece of what we recommend is therapeutic fasting. Therapeutic fasting, carbohydrate cycling, keto cycling, and it's an effective solution for us to help our patients become insulin sensitive. Insulin signaling is the key because it affects the way that your body either gets into fat storage mode or gets out of it, right? You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. Like, we know this. We know this all too well. Oh, let's see. No internet connection. So you have to be in a calorie deficit to get weight loss. Like, we know that, and we're not gonna say anything to change that. Calorie deficit is the initial signal. But if your insulin levels are high, you create this scenario where your body's struggling because insulin being high is like a counter signal to the deficit. Hey, Du Bois, side effects of GLP-1 medications are minimal if you know how to manage them. Our strategy is simple. We keep people on the lowest dose possible. So the lowest dose possible of your GLP-1 medications, that's one of the keys to long-term sustainable weight loss, easy facilitated by the GLP-1s. So if you guys want to learn more about what we do, hey, Facebook, do me a favor and drop a comment in so I can see it. I'm watching from I'm streaming from my phone here. Good morning, Dog Mom. How are you? Growth hormone, if you know how to use it, it's pretty awesome. If you know how to properly use growth hormone to protect your muscle mass loss, because we could talk about this, guys. Protecting muscle mass and building muscle mass is hands down the most important thing that you need to do. Protecting your muscle mass, building more muscle mass, is so important long term on your weight loss journey, your health journey, your weight loss journey. How do I feel about intermittent fasting for weight management? I think intermittent fasting is a start, but you absolutely need to be doing therapeutic long fasting. And depending on your medical condition, you're going to need medical advice, you're going to need medical supervision, right? Especially if you're diabetic. But this is why we have such a successful track record for helping patients reverse their insulin resistance, and we do this kind of stuff every single day. Let me know in the comments right now, have you tried fasting? Have you been successful fasting? Have you been told not to fast? Let's start there. Let me know in the comments, guys. Hey, Julie, welcome, welcome. LDN. So the peptides that we're talking about are SLU-PP-332 and AOD 9604. So SLUP is going to mobilize fat. Yes, even if you have PCOS. It's one of the craziest things ever, but we have our PCOS patients fasting and getting results. I know it's wild. And people are always kind of shocked when we talk about this reality, but you have to know how to approach fasting if you have one of these issues, if you have one of these conditions. LDN, by the way, somebody's asking about low dose naltrexone. Low dose naltrexone is the one of the most powerful things that we do for autoimmune disease, for autoimmune conditions. Low dose naltrexone is very cheap, by the way. It's very affordable. It reduces inflammation and it calms down an overactive immune system. Um, I've been fasting for a little over 2 weeks now. That is fantastic. How do you feel? What kind of fasting protocols have you started? Let me know in the comments. Have you started doing any sort of intermittent fasting? What has been your history about fasting? Also, if you just joined us, welcome, welcome. Drop your name. Let me know where you're watching from. We could totally start there. There we go. It looks like we are live on Instagram now. I figured out what the issue was. Instagram was acting really weird. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, that sucks. Instagram is not letting me go live. Oh, that sucks. Oh, they don't like. That's so lame. Um, we got John from Pennsylvania. We got Lone from Ohio. Perry from Michigan. Welcome, welcome. 16-hour fasting is a great start. Intermittent fasting. Julie from Arkansas. Lily from New York. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, SLU-PP-332 is I think right now SLU-PP is hot. I think SLU-PP is the most powerful fat mobilizing peptide right now, and I think it's the best opportunity to supercharge your GLP-1 results. If you're getting very slow results, then pay attention to what I'm going to say. The two things to add: SLU-PP-332 and fasting. SLU-PP-332 and fasting. The combination of both to complement your GLP-1 medications is amazing. And you heard that. You heard that right. Yeah, playing video games, my friend. Yeah, good luck with that. Now, if you're going to play some StarCraft 2, StarCraft 2 is actually a very much brain game. You might burn some calories playing StarCraft 2, but besides StarCraft 2, yeah, good luck losing weight playing video games. And I'm being facetious about any video game, actually, you know. I don't think you'll burn calories playing StarCraft 2. SLU-PP-332 is a compound that right now we have a special, it's like a free month. You get an extra free month. But what it does is it actually, they call it an exercise mimetic. So you burn calories at rest. How slow is slow? If you're losing less than 0.5% of your body weight every single week. So how much weight are you guys losing per week? Give me the percentage, not the number, because it's relative to how much you weigh. So just like you just got to divide how much you're losing over divided by how much you weigh. 2% is too fast. 2% is too quick. You are likely losing muscle mass. Yes, this bloke reads the questions. I have multiple devices though. So, but I'm only going to read questions that make sense. There's a lot of people on YouTube right now saying a bunch of stuff that I don't even know what they're talking about. But if you ask any questions on YouTube, yes, I will happily answer your questions. What is the longest fast I've ever done? 5 days. I've done a 5-day water fast. And I think when you go into these beyond 3 days, you definitely can only do those a couple times per week. But on a weekly basis, we do something that's still pretty aggressive. It's therapeutic under medical supervision, but it's closer in that 24 to 48 range. Yes, we do online coaching and we do service all 50 states, guys. So we service all 50 states. We prescribe all 50 states. We coach all 50 states. Uh, yeah, the half life is. I have to verify that. I don't have the half life memorized, but the dosing is twice a day. So I'm almost certain it's a short half life because optimally you take one dose in the morning and you take one dose in the afternoon. But you start off 200 micrograms and then you work up to 400 micrograms. We just need an address. We can only ship to an US address. What supplements do I recommend? The base supplements. I don't care whether you're on GLP-1 or not. Vitamin D, K2, fish oil, a methylated B vitamin, magnesium. Now, if you're on a GLP-1, I like additional digestive support, broad spectrum digestive enzymes, a good probiotic. Those are the kind of things I like. What about krill oil? I think krill oil is great. That can replace your fish oil. That's totally fine. Krill oil can work just fine for your. Just look at the label and see how much EPA and DHA your krill oil has. You want to be getting a total of at least 1 full gram of EPA DHA. I've been using it once per day. Would it still be as effective? No, you're not wasting it, but it would be more effective if you did a morning and an afternoon dose. Uh, yeah, sometimes the short half-life uh, doesn't matter, right? Peptides, you inject them and they break down in a couple minutes sometimes, and they have long lasting. But other things like supplements only have an effect while they're active in your body. So it just depends. Hey, Syria, which peptides can I use with my MJ? That's what we're talking about today, guys. So my favorite peptide to stack with your GLP-1 medications is SLU-PP-332, AOD 9604. But we also stack low dose naltrexone. We stack testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. So men, TRT with your GLP-1 if you need it, amazing combination. Women, same thing. Women need testosterone. And also women, if you're hitting menopause, get some freaking bioidentical estrogen. My gosh, it'll make all the difference in your quality of life because when your estrogen starts dropping, I mean, the night sweats and hot flashes, they ruin everyone's life, not just yours. Yeah, Lily, each peptide is an individual thing. So there is no generic like susceptibility to not being good for with peptides or not. Think of each peptide like a different medication, although they're not medications, they're peptides. What about, you mean tesofensine or do you mean tesamorelin, Chato? I like CJC. CJC is a really good, powerful growth hormone secreting peptide. It's actually stronger than Samoralin. And by the way, guys, just so you know, we prescribe all these peptides. So if you guys have questions, if you want to get a consultation to learn more so that you can have a doctor supervised and prescribed program, shoot us a message right here at the 229 number, 229-441-35, what is it, 3562? I don't have this number memorized, but we can test your thyroid. We can test your hormone at your local Quest or LabCorp. So if you guys want your hormones checked, if you want a comprehensive metabolic blood panel, very, very powerful. Check your inflammation, check your insulin resistance. Yes, we have prescribing medical staff. Should we eat before taking it? That's a good question. For the sloop, it doesn't matter, but you should be fasting anyways. So you shouldn't be eating first thing in the morning. What do I think about taking TRT? I don't think steroids. You shouldn't take steroids. 32 years old is young, but if your testosterone levels are very low and you can't fix them naturally, then you need testosterone. But I'm always going to recommend natural solutions if possible. But, you know, we live in a society that destroys our endocrine system, our hormone producing systems. And so supplementing with testosterone is a solution to that, to improve quality of life. Is there a benefit to split dosing on tirzepatide? Not really. If you notice that your appetite peaks and then it goes away, you can split dose to solve that problem. But hey, thank you, Danielle. Says Dr. Jones, thank you for all your information. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. No, I'm not in the Army. Retta and tesofensine. How about tirzepatide and tesofensine? Tesofensine is an additional appetite suppression, suppressive compound. Although, you know, tesofensine is interesting. Tesofensine also is a bit of a brain enhancing compound as well. Kind of puts you into a little bit more of a Zen state and a focus state. If you're in menopause and a slow responder, absolutely, absolutely. And the peptides that I'm talking about right now, the ones that are on sale, we have SLU-PP-332, SLU-PP-332, but also AOD 9604. But then also your growth hormone peptides can help too as well. Anything to address osteopenia. All right, you ready for this, Nat? You want the ultimate solution to fix your bones? Here's the ultimate peptide stack. It's called lifting weights. You know, that's the reality. The best thing you can do for your bone health, ladies, to prevent osteopenia and then eventually development into osteoporosis. And by the way, post-menopausal Caucasian women have the highest rates of osteopenia and osteoporosis. But it's basically women when they hit, again, menopause. Menopause just destroys you. It's a decline in overall health. So we talked about hormone therapy, but you absolutely need to lift weights. You need to lift weights because when you lift weights, you're training your muscles. You're not training your bones per se, but you kind of are because the muscles have to pull from their anchor points, which are the bones. So you have all this force that's being resisted by the bones, right? Think about your muscle, it's contracting, but what's it pulling on? It's pulling on the bone. The bone is anchoring the muscle. So you have forces that are being endured by the bone. The bone is just handling it like a boss. The bone is like, yeah, I got you, don't worry. Well, those forces, those mechanical forces that are experienced by the bone cause a mineralization, an improvement in bone deposition. So you want to strengthen your bones, you freaking lift weights. And then if your hormones are optimal, now the combination of both is really powerful. Yeah, the medication for osteopenia and osteoporosis are awful. Just go lift weights. That works almost every case. Now, obviously, there's individual use cases for the medication. What kind of symptoms would make me think that we need TRT? Okay, so great question. We're talking about hormones. Yes, depression and weight loss. So here are the symptoms that you are low in testosterone. Pay attention to what I'm about to say, because if you're a man or a woman watching this, you need to know what to look for, because your doctors are probably not even checking their hormones, your hormones. So here are the symptoms of suboptimal slash low testosterone: tiredness, brain fog, lower motivation, lower confidence, lower sex drive, deep muscle loss, decreased responsiveness to workouts. Like you're not like responding to workouts the way you used to. Um, and then increased anxiety, increased depression. And then if it gets really low for men, you can get erectile dysfunction. And then also loss of sex drive. That's a big one. Loss of sex drive. So tiredness, brain fog, anxiety, depression, decreased responsiveness to the gym, decreased motivation, decreased confidence. Like you feel like you're dragging your feet every day. How many of you guys are suffering with those symptoms? Good morning, Liz. Hey, Syria. Fantastic. I would look forward to helping you. We do prescribe all these things that we're talking about. So if you guys want to have a supervised program to make sure that you're doing this safe, to make sure that there's no issues, shoot us a text message right here at the 229 number. We'll start off with some comprehensive blood work. We do have a promotion right now on SLU-PP, so now's a good time. Hey, we got somebody watching from Nigeria. Hello. Do we have yes. We do service Las Vegas. Regardless of where you guys are at, we service all 50 states. It's completely virtual, so it just makes it easy. Steady compound lifts with band work for mobility. Jordan, I agree. Life changing for sure. Aren't low estrogen levels similar to low testosterone? No. They're both a problem though. Men and women need testosterone, and guess what? Men and women need estrogen. So if your estrogen gets too low as a man, that's a problem too. I don't even know what that means, but okay. You're in Ireland, my friend. That's awesome. When it comes to workouts, as now 32, I feel like it takes longer to recover. Yeah, I mean, that could be a testosterone thing for sure. Hello, everybody. Drop in the comments if you're watching me on Facebook. Um, Eventually, after a couple weeks on the sloop, you end up to 400 micrograms twice a day, morning dose and afternoon dose. Heck yeah, you're at the gym. Love it, love it. How many of you guys are going to the gym today? What do you got? What's your guys' workout plan? You got to get a workout in the weekend. Unless you work out 5 days a week during the weekday, I suppose you could take the weekend off. But I think most of you work 5 days a week, right? So I find that working out on the weekends to get your weekend started right, you have more time. That makes more sense to me. But you can work out 7 days a week too. It doesn't matter when you work out. Good muscle building peptides would be CJC, IPA, tesamorelin, um, and then testosterone therapy. What do I recommend for low energy? We got a push day, Bryce. That's fantastic. Um, hey Sam. Sam took my advice on the AOD. Fantastic. I'm assuming you're doing fasting. I'm assuming you're doing the AOD and the fasting, which is really the way to get the best results. Um, Low energy. How many of you guys are suffering with low energy? How many of you guys are dealing with low energy issues? Like you're dragging your feet. I think kettlebells are cool. Kettlebells, Jordan, I think are great. Um, I think for your average person to start, kettlebells is too steep of a gradient. I think you start with machines if you've never lifted weights or if it's been years since you've been lifting, start with easy compound machines, get some initial strength going, get some initial response, some mobility work on the side, and then you can start, getting into kettlebell workouts. If you're doing safe deadlifts, I think a lot of people end up hurting themselves with deadlifts. So just be careful. For somebody who has no problem with weight loss, do you still suggest Monjaro for weight loss? Yes, I do. You lose a lower dose. You use a lower dose if you don't have necessarily cravings and hunger issues. A lower dose for sure. Hey, Jordan, my man, I appreciate the support. What do I think of retatrutide? I think you should stick with tirzepatide. I think retatrutide is amazing if it works for you, but it's a gamble. And the upside to gamble with retatrutide doesn't make sense when you have the king, tried and true tirzepatide that works phenomenal. Um, if your tirzepatide is not working, retatrutide is most likely not going to solve the reason why your tirzepatide is not working. People massively undereat on GLP-1s. That is 100% true. There is a massive amount of undereating on GLP-1s. I 100% agree. And this is the reason why their energy plummets. Um, yeah, I mean, you definitely need to poop. If you're constipated, you need to figure out why you're constipated. So the two solutions, the constipation on GLP-1s, the standard approach has always been hydrate and fiber, more fiber, hydration, make sure you're taking magnesium, a little magnesium citrate to kind of blast things through, if you know what I mean. Or you switch it up entirely and you get rid of all fiber. Now, this sounds a little counterintuitive, but the carnivore diet can solve this problem if standard measures are not working. If you feel worse when you increase your fiber, if you feel bloated all the time, you eat vegetables and you feel like you're gassy and bloated, your body's not tolerating it. And the carnivore diet might be the solution that nobody told you that you needed to consider. Um, my opinion on Monjaro and a keto diet, I think it's phenomenal. So in our program, guys, we are helping people achieve resolution of their insulin resistance. We're lowering inflammation levels. And we do a lot of that strategy by both a fasting therapeutic doctor supervised fasting protocol with low carb eating, sometimes a carnivore diet, It's a lot of good strategy there. I'm gonna try something on my Facebook or on if you guys are watching me on, let's see here. TikTok. Yeah, I can't believe that happened, actually. I'm going to try exiting the TikTok and re entering here. Um, yeah, so if you're losing weight or if you're losing hair on your GLP-1 meds, it's almost always a malnourishment issue. It's a deficiency of nutrition. You're under eating over an extended period of time, so your body goes into starvation mode. And when your body goes into starvation mode, when your body goes into starvation mode, you know, everything cranks down, like energy. Um, oh, thank you. I try to give a lot of interesting information. I try to give a lot of good information, uh, geared towards beating obesity, geared towards beating metabolic health issues. Hey, Daz, love watching all your content. Sorry I'm going it alone, but have lost 6 stone so far. Fantastic. Hey, man or lady, I'm not sure. I'm here to help you to any capacity. You know, whether you guys are in, whether you guys are succeeding with just my free information or whether you need help, you need an extra layer of help. We do provide coaching services and we do prescribe all these different peptides and GLP-1s, and we have like combo packages and all that kind of stuff. Is losing 2 pounds a week okay? It depends how much you weigh, my friend. Uh, that might be too much for you. That might be too fast. So you want to be losing between a 0.5% and 1% of your body weight every single week. You want to lose between a 0.5% and 1% of your body weight every single week. That's what you want to lose. The semaglutide, yeah, Taco Bell would not be my first solution for constipation. That would not be doctor approved. Um, yeah, magnesium citrate and chia seeds, that could definitely do a lot. Does semaglutide help after the first week with the low carb and gym? I mean, semaglutide is going to take the whole program for you to start losing weight is going to take however long it takes relative to your current issue, right? Your current situation. I have no idea how inflamed you are. I have no idea how insulin resistant you are. Good morning, Desiree. So, if you want us to check, we can do some comprehensive labs and help you check. No subscribers. What do you mean, Scott? Who's got no subscribers? I don't know what you're talking about. Trenbolone. Yeah, Steven, you take the Trenbolone. Let me know how that goes. Let me know how the Trenbolone goes. Good morning, Cookie. How are ya? I don't know what's a no king protest. I have no idea what that is. Um, First week rocks on terzepatide. 11 weeks post hysterectomy, and I want to have some ciders today. I think it's okay. Everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. Daz, my man, I appreciate it, and I'm glad that this information is helping you. Um, do you? Yes. We prescribe terzepatide and semaglutide, and we do all the GLP-1s, all the powerful fat mobilizing peptides to help you guys on your journey. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you're doing lifestyle. If you're not doing lifestyle strategies, it's not going to work. I mean, this is the thing that nobody wants to say. Everybody wants to sell you peptides. Everybody wants to sell you peptides and tell you it's going to work. Oh, yeah, just take this, buy this. And, there's no magic elixir. You guys want to know what the magic elixir is? You ready for it? The magic elixir is you getting off your ass and getting to work, getting real serious about this, prioritizing your health. And some of you guys are prioritizing your significant other, you're prioritizing your kids, you're prioritizing your job. And I 100% respect that. But at what point are you going to prioritize your health? It's so easy to push your health to the side, right? Because you have other obligations. But what's the point of having other obligations if your health takes a shit? You know, if your health lands in the gutter, and how much money are you going to lose? And how much time are you going to lose for your other obligations when you end up with severe health complications because you didn't prioritize your health when it was easier to fix? So you're losing on the short term by not prioritizing your health because you think you don't have time. But how much time would you have if you stayed healthy? How much time would you save if your mental clarity was optimal? If your energy levels were optimal? How much better would you perform in health or in life? I mean, I think you'd perform pretty good. I think you'd do better as a husband. You'd do better as a wife. You'd do better as a parent. You would do better as whatever career person you are. you know, you might move up in life when your health is prioritized. But it takes that initial commitment and sacrifice. It takes that initial commitment and sacrifice to realize that maybe I need to, and I love the word sacrifice, right? Like sacrifice. I need to give up something. I understand some of you guys don't probably have any time to sacrifice, and I get it. But I think a lot of you do. I think a lot of you do. You don't want to admit it, but you got some time that you can give up in order to prioritize your health. 11 weeks post-op and my inflammation and bloating is feeling so much better. That is fantastic. Are you doing some intermittent fasting? What are you doing to get to feel better? How much hair are you going to lose? Well, if you follow our approach, probably none. Hair loss is a result of rapid weight loss and malnourishment. Rapid weight loss, malnourishment, that's more of the cause of hair loss. What are the chances the chronic inflammation? It's probably a combination of both. Um, it's probably a combination of both. If you have back pain, you could have some mechanical structural issue, right? You need to see a chiropractor or a physical therapist, but that mechanical issue is probably also worse because you're chronically inflamed. So, targeting this from both issues, targeting this from both perspectives. Was I malnourished? Guys, I was so malnourished. You wouldn't believe it if I told you, but I used to have long, luscious hair. You guys know Fabio, right? I used to have hair like Fabio. And this was before I knew what I was doing. And I was taking the GLP-1s, cranking the doses up, and I lost all my hair. So please learn from my mistake because I was so malnourished that I lost all my hair and there's no going back. So I don't want you guys to lose hair because once upon a time I had Fabio's hairstyle. Yes, I agree. Prioritizing yourself. Can I do a one-arm push-up? It depends what kind of one-arm push-up. Um, I could do most one-arm push-ups, but I was saying you can make it a lot easier if your feet in the back are open to stabilize yourself versus staying on with your feet together. It's more challenging. I reckon I can do it. What would you like to see? A one arm push up? Yeah, no, don't feel like doing that right now. What vitamins and, nutrients do you need for your hair? I mean, you need protein, collagen, peptides, biotin, zinc, and you can't be stressed or inflamed. I have 10 kilos to lose. I have to lose 20 more. Okay, fantastic. We can absolutely help you with that. Uh, protein. You should be shooting for about 1 gram per pound of target body weight. So 1 pound per pound, 1 gram per pound. So, in other words, if you think you should weigh 150 pounds, you should be trying to get about 150 grams of protein. That's that's the best way. How do you know if you're inflamed or just overweight? Likely both. If you're overweight, you're inflamed because if you have a lot of belly fat, you are definitely inflamed because the belly fat is the visceral fat, and the visceral fat is significantly worse for your health. Um, yeah, Kelly, I would have to look at your lab works. We'd have to figure out what's going on. I didn't. I tried the salt on the watermelon. I wasn't impressed. It was different. Maybe the watermelon has to be really sweet. It has to be really sweet, crispy watermelon with a little bit of lime. That probably, or lime. I actually think with lime and salt would be better. What causes inflammation? A stressful, well, I was going to say something else, but stress, food, everything causes high inflammation. My gosh, there's so many causes and triggers to inflammation. I'd say the biggest one is food. The ultra processed food that we're eating is probably the biggest contributor to inflammation. Um, and then after that, it's hard. I mean, people have toxic exposure, chemical exposure, sensitivities. So it's just different for everybody. Um, Getting rid of belly fat. Oh my gosh. The easiest way, you GLP-1 SLU-PP-332, lots of fasting. That's the easiest way. GLP-1 SLU-PP-332 and lots of fasting. That is the easiest way, without a doubt. All right, guys, I'm about to hop off though, but I want to make sure I get all your questions and remind you. So we service all 50 states, guys. All 50 states. We got you covered. So if you guys are interested in learning more, shoot us a text message right here at the 229 number. Let them know that you want to get set up for a free consultation. You shoot a text message, you get a link to set up a consultation. Now, by the way, if you're not, I forgot to mention this, if you're not following me on YouTube and you guys enjoy the topics that I discuss, when I'm live, I can't go in depth. But if you guys want to learn more, you could either directly reach out to us if you're ready to have that conversation about working with us. But if you just want to learn more, you're not ready to have that conversation, go to YouTube right now and type in Dr. Jones DC. We put out 3 videos every single week where I do a deep dive into GLP-1 and peptide science with the emphasis of using low dose strategies to set you up for long-term health, long-term weight management. I don't see a lot of people that really approach it the way that we do. So definitely go give us a follow, turn on your bell. We just posted our peptide stacking video yesterday, which is really cool. And then I think tomorrow we're putting out 10 tips to maximize your GLP-1 weight loss on Sunday. Whose cheeks are you pinching? What's going on here? Thank you. Lax says your YouTube videos are amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do try to pack a lot of information into those YouTube videos. So, you got to follow me there. And then my Instagram is more to make you laugh. The Instagram is to make you laugh. I do a lot of videos of me eating steak on Instagram. I don't know why people like seeing me eat steak. We just posted a steak eating video yesterday. I got 100,000 views just for eating steak. I got to eat steak. I eat steak like 4 nights a week, though. Hey, Ink Stoll. I'm a doctor. I don't subscribe. I prescribe. Okay, cool. That's fantastic. What do you prescribe? And what are you not subscribing to? In my clinic, guys, we have medical practitioners. I have a team of coaches that I manage. So I manage the coaches, the clinic, and then I have a whole medical team that does all the prescribing. Our fasting protocols can get really in depth when we're trying to fix some serious metabolic issues. So we do therapeutic fasting protocols under medical supervision. Thank you, Daz. I appreciate that. And I'm telling you guys, the massive therapeutic fasting that we do, that's how you fix metabolic health. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. Go kick some butt. Have some fun today. I have some fun today. I'm going to pick up my fiance from the airport. She's going to visit me because I've been away on this training for so long. So, if you guys ever heard of Harper's, we're going to go to Harper's Steakhouse in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a fancy schmancy steakhouse. That's going to be really good. All right, guys, we will see you later. How do we end this live? Finish. There we go.